There we go. All right. Good morning, Goya. Good morning. All right. That's sure. All right. It's almost 8:02. Oh, we don't have more tea.
Oh yeah, we should drink more.
Okay, it's fine. All right. So it's recording now. So it's 8:02. I'm gonna close a few of these windows in the middle. Welcome everybody to Monday Morning Motivation, and congratulations for not making excuses. You're here, and you're here to join us to learn more about positive intelligence. We're very happy to have you all, and we'll start in just a couple of minutes. But before, we always forget to do this, and we assume that everybody knows who we are.
Who are we?
But people don't necessarily know who we are, aside of being two people on a Zoom call this morning. So, hi everybody, this is Maria.
This is Janine.
And we're the founders of Monday Morning Motivation. We also have, for everybody who doesn't know, we also have our day job. Like Monday Morning Motivation is a project that we're very happy to work on together, but that's not all we do.
It's our passion project where we hope to create some more impact in the world, bring some positivity, inspiration, and really help people to get up early and to start in a positive and in the best possible way in their new day, in their new week.
Right.
Yes. So who are we? I'm a happiness and success coach. I founded a company, Full Potential Partners, in Shanghai. Have actually an IT and corporate background from Germany. And yeah, I'm also an intercultural trainer.
Right. And I'm Italian. I've been living in Shanghai for 11 years. I have my company here, Bridge. It's a coaching and training company. I work with people, groups, and companies to make them more effective, whatever effectiveness looks like. I work across cultures, and I help people gain clarity. So that's my day job, aside of a ton of other things that we don't have time to talk about. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about positive intention. But before that, slides.
Yes. So if you're new to Monday Morning Motivation, scan the QR code here. We will add you to one of our 5 WeChat groups. We have 2,500 members all over China and even abroad by now. Hey, Kieran! We always love seeing people on video, like your mom as well.
Mom, yeah.
So guys, we're so excited. Good morning, Kieran. So we have our 2-year anniversary party. Yes, Kieran has already signed up. He will be there. A lot of our other former speakers will be there as well. Hopefully you guys too. More than 150 people will come to our 2-year anniversary party on May 30th. If you don't have your ticket yet, just scan now.
It's going to be very, very fun, and I'm extremely excited because I get to be here in person this year. Last year we did this in Shanghai. Janine was hosting in person. I was stuck in Italy, so I couldn't be here, and so I'm very excited that I get to, hang out and have fun at my own party.
I mean, Maria was there through Zoom, basically. Through
the phone. But it's definitely not the same. I mean, we love technology, but it's definitely not the same.
Exactly. So, this is our passion project. We do this for free. If you would love to support, we also give 50% to the 1 million tree project. Yes. They are growing trees. They're planting trees in Inner Mongolia. So we really try to do something good for the environment as well. You can scan the QR code on the left side. If you miss a webinar ever, it doesn't matter. Every Monday morning, we're here with lots of amazing speakers. And last but not least, if you're looking for a beautiful gift, whether it's an ebook or a printed version.
The printed version is really nice. It's really nice. You can see there's a lot of quotes, lots of exercises, and we had a lot of great feedback about this, both from individuals and companies. It's really a tool to just get you more inspired and also do some reflection and goal setting and gratitude journaling.
It's best to boost your happiness as well as also your success.
We're very happy
every week.
We're very happy about this.
Yes. Okay, enough talking. I would say let's start with positive intelligence now, because we have lots of really good content for you. And today the goal is, number 1, creating self-awareness for you. So most important is that you start to analyze today, who are your saboteurs? We will speak more about it in a second. And then next month, Maria and I, we will build up on this knowledge. so that you also have a little bit of time to already get more familiar with your saboteurs. Because once you're aware, then you can start taking changes or start like taking action, I mean. And then next month, we're going to focus more on the sage, on how to be higher in intelligence. So let's talk about it. Positive intelligence is actually a discipline that comes, like it has a lot of different research taken from positive psychology, from neuroscience, cognitive psychology, and also performing science. It's a mixture. And Maria and I, we both invested our time and money now to actually get certified. We're taking a 7-week program on this. We already started working in a training where we integrated this knowledge. That's now great. Last Saturday. Yeah. We have personal coaching clients with whom we're trying to unlock their full potential. So this is, you will see it very soon. It's really about why can teams not really perform at their best? Because we all have our inner saboteurs. So everything starts with us unblocking ourselves. Right. So let's go into this step by step. Maria, right. Tell us a little bit more about positive intelligence.
So before we go into the details, let us give you a general idea of what positive intelligence is. So positive intelligence is really a way to look at things. Our mind is talking to us all day, every day. That's whether we perceive it or not, what our mind is always running. And our mind can basically run in 2 different modes. Can run into a negative mode and can run into a positive mode. What does that mean? When your mind runs in the negative mode, it's basically sabotaging you. Your mind is not helping. Your mind is creating obstacles. Your mind is making you stress. Your mind is making you feel miserable. And all of those negative emotions that are associated with basically like feeling, judged or judging others, or like just feeling sad, and all those negative emotions. That is the mind sabotaging you. The other way that your mind can help is actually serving you, which means by encouraging you, by being empathetic, by being relating to other people, by being compassionate. And the positive intelligence is basically the way of like taking the amount of time that your brain is focused on these 2 modes and switching it from being majorly in negative mode to switching to being majorly into positive mode. We don't have time for all the details, but the general idea is that if you take an assessment, which you can take like daily, and it tells you like where your mind is, the idea is that you should be at least 75% of the time into positive sage, positive intelligence mode in order to perform better, in order to be happier, in order for people to work better together. How do we do that? We'll get to that. But the idea is more on the positive side than on the negative side.
Yeah, actually, I just took the test like on Friday. I had a lot of like big milestones that I had to, or like some deadlines and milestones to achieve, which all went well. And I took the test on Friday. It was super interesting. And I was actually 50-50.
Okay.
But, which actually is not a bad thing if you realize that when you're super, super stressed and like you're really like at the edge of everything, but still 50% of the time, even when you're super stressed, you're still in a sage mode, in a more positive thing. You're more serving you than just like hijacking yourself. Yeah. It's not bad, but the goal really is, even in your most urgent, stressful time, you want to be 75% at least more in the sage mode, the sage acting inside you.
So basically, we'll be talking about sage and saboteurs for like the last 5 minutes, and we're getting more into that. But the idea is that the negative side, the mode of like being more focused on the negative emotions, is because there's a lot of saboteurs that are trying to basically make your life miserable. And we all have this. This is by no way, shape, or form a judgment on anybody. This is something that it's a framework that works for every single person. We all have different levels of any of this. It's just a question of being aware of it, and it's a question of how can you activate more the positive powers. So saboteurs are 10. Janine is going to go through them in just a little while, but the idea is that they focus on the negative emotions. So you see things through a negative emotion lens, while when you are in sage mode, you see things with a positive emotion, like empathy, compassion, curiosity, and purpose, while the negative emotions are fear, stress, anger, guilt, and insecurity. Before we go any further, I want to make a disclaimer because it's really important to me. By talking about positive intelligence, we're not advocating toxic positivity. This is something that's really important for me, at least, to mention. We're not telling you that you always have to keep a smile on and always pretend that everything is good.
Yeah.
That is absolutely not what this is about. This is about recognizing some challenges, learning from challenges, and seeing how you can take the challenges and turn them into opportunities, which is a very different thing. We're not telling you to pretend everything is okay when things are not. We're trying to give you a way that you can use to turn whatever is challenging you in an opportunity for growth.
And let me add you here. We all have our judges and saboteurs inside us. If you have been to my workshops before, you know I always call them devil and angel. That's how I love to call it. And no matter of how amazing you are, how smart, educated, whatever it is, we really have, every single person has this disruptive, hijacking, judge, and those saboteurs inside us. It's just about finding out which of these saboteurs are actually like the strongest inside you. Because once you know that, then we can really like make a change.
Exactly. All right. So the very, very brief neuroscience-y background about this, the decisions you make and the actions you take are all linked to how your neurons work in your brain. And there's things that we've been doing for years, and so it's automated. So if you've always been a person that always judges someone by their clothes, when you see someone, you will judge them by their clothes because that's on autopilot. Think about when you go to work. You go to work for 20 years, you know the road. You've always gone down the same road. It's automatic. One day you change job, you need to go to a different company. You need to move on the other side of town. The first day, your brain will automatically still think that you're going on one way. So you have to actively change and remind yourself, oh, I'm going to a new office today, so I have to take a new road. The same happens in the neurons of your brain. Our automated responses have been like trained over and over and over again on going one way, and that usually is the saboteurs in the negative mode. So what we're trying here to share is how you can take that autopilot, stop, and redirect it into a more positive response. It's simple but not easy, so it's not something you can just do by clicking your hands, whatever it's called, but it's something that you can do with practice. But we want today to give you an overview on how it works so you can be more aware of it.
Yes. Okay, now enough introduction. Let's talk about the 10 saboteurs. Here you can see 9 saboteurs. And as said, everybody has a few of them that are stronger inside us. But then the last one, or the first one actually, is the judge that you cannot see in here. And we all have the judge. Let's break it down. And while we're doing this, while we go through this step by step, you see this is an official slide from Stanford University, because Shirzad Chamine, who actually is the author of Positive Intelligence, he's a Harvard professor, Stanford, and he worked with all the Fortune 100 companies to implement this knowledge inside the companies. I used to work for HP. He actually also worked with HP before. So yeah, let's talk about the judge. And guys, feel free to share in the chat group even when you see yourself. And no one is like judging in here, because we all have these saboteurs inside us. Okay, the judge. We all have the judge inside us. And it's just a question of how active is that judge. That judge, as you can see on the picture here, he is constantly like judging yourself. Janine, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, not intelligent enough. You can't achieve that. Judging other people, like, here, look at Maria. The judge would say, she looks horrible in this outfit today, or she's a horrible partner to do MMM with. That could be the judge talking outside me. And then there's also the judge speaking in circumstances. A few weeks ago, I was on the airplane. Again, I was super stressed because I really had to finish these last WeChat messages, send them out, arrange something before the plane takes off. What happens? That flight attendant comes and she said, "Miss, can you please take away your phones, turn them off?" And my judge inside me was just saying, "I know all of that. You don't have to tell me. I fly many, many times." Yeah, you see, even from my body language, how this judge is speaking outside of me. I know all of this. Like, why are you telling me? Why are you bothering me? Don't you know that I know this better? So, yeah, you see, like, this judge is so strong inside us. But the nice thing is, as we said, it starts with self-awareness. In order to change something, in order for me to get that saboteurs or that judge's voice lower, I need to recognize in which situation or with which person does the judge come up with his voice and his like weird attitude, that I can start changing something. So that's the judge. Then there is the victim. And maybe some of you have the victim inside us. So check with yourself. Or maybe you know a colleague that loves to focus on painful feelings, painful situations. No, why me? Why did this happen to me again? So there are some people, they actually love to like really point out all the painful, horrible things happening to them, because they might just want to earn empathy. They might want to get attention from you. Like that Maria now says, "Oh, Janine, it's okay. Poor you. Why always you?" Yes. So that is the victim. Is there anybody of you who has a victim inside us or inside you? Feel free to share with us.
Yeah,
In
you
some
can type it in the chat.
situations, I definitely do.
Yeah.
And then there's a pleaser. And I had like the pleaser apparently seems to be one of my biggest ones. And I was not aware of this until one evening at a dinner. One of our friends, Yolanda, she pointed it out over and over again. "Here, Janine, and here and here and here. You're the pleaser. Stop doing this." So the pleaser is really about constantly pleasing other people, flattering, giving compliments, maybe rescuing other people in order to, because the pleaser hopes they gain acceptance. What you need to know is all of the saboteurs are acting from the perspective of survival. You need to go back to when we all were hunters and gatherers and we had to survive. These saboteurs were made to help us survive. But of course, there's always like, there should be balance of everything. Then there's the avoider. Who of you actually or your colleagues love to procrastinate? When you think that the situation, that task will be painful for you, or maybe difficult, or it's maybe a conflict, then you try to focus on something more pleasant, you avoid it. But the saboteur actually will not always be like serving you, because once the deadline comes, maybe you will lose the client, or maybe the quality won't be good enough if you procrastinate, whatever it is. I'm pretty sure Maria wants to talk about the stickler.
Yes,
now.
I do. One thing that we forgot to tell in the 7 a.m. Call is that all the saboteurs basically are lying to you. The little voice in your head, for example, with the avoider is going to tell you, "Don't worry, you have time to do this. It's going to be okay." And then, of course, it's not going to be okay. So the lie that they tell you is that for a short-term gain, but it doesn't work in the long term. So that's why it's important to recognize when these is happening so that you don't buy into that lie. Uh, very, very apt example. The stickler is when you want everything to be perfect. You want yourself to be 1,000% up to your standards. You want everybody else to be up to your very high standard. You want your circumstances to be exactly as you want them. Why? Because the stickler is telling you only then you will be worthy of whatever you're doing. Only then will people like you more. Turns out it's not true, because when you're so stressed about everything being perfect, you become a terrible person and nobody really likes you. But that's the lie that our mind tells ourselves. We're like, that is important. And again, it comes from survival. It comes from our instincts. It comes from our upbringing. And it can be influenced by a lot of things. What we're trying to tell you now is making you aware that this is a thing so that you can try and catch yourself if that comes up. Same with the restless is something that, for example, I think both me and Janine have is just trying to do all the things all the time because you're always trying to do the next best thing. It's like, oh, well, I've done this, so now I have to achieve that, and I achieve that, and I achieve that, and I achieve that. And of course, the saboteur is telling you because you have to be, always busy to be productive, to be successful. And it turns out that if you're doing too many things, that you guys have heard us, at least me, saying a lot of the time that if you're doing more, you're not necessarily doing better. If you do less and more focused, it's actually so much better for you. Yeah. But society and a lot of people tell us, you have to be busy, and busyness is success. And it's not true. It's absolutely not true. And when you realize that, it's so powerful because you can do something about it.
Yes. I knew I was always busy, but right. I didn't know that this would be like a saboteur inside us. But now that I have here the self-awareness, now I can do something about it, or I can reflect, do I want to do something about it, or on which extent? So then there's a controller. This is now really anxiety-based. They really have the need to control every situation. And they really
it's a very controllery voice.
Exactly. And they want to even bend other people to their own will. Maybe some of you are a manager or a leader. Is someone of you maybe a controller? And again, some people have it stronger inside them than other people. Hyperachiever. This is the person who thinks, okay, I only get accepted, I only get loved when I actually constantly achieve something. That's the lie that they have inside us. But for example, as you know me, I love to say, and also psychologists say, self-esteem, meaning self-love and self-confidence, is the basis for your happiness as well as for your success. So yeah, we don't need the hyperachiever. Right. Then there's the hyper rational, and there's a lot of German people who are really, really rational, I would say. So this is really about you constantly process everything rationally, and this also includes relationships. But remember, we're not robots. We're human beings. We have emotions. We rather want to balance emotions and our rational mind. Absolutely. Last but not least, the hypervigilant.
So the hypervigilant is a lot about trying to find all the ways that things can go wrong instead of focusing on what you have or what things can go right. Think about, again, coming from a survival mode, always looking out for danger, always looking out for tigers, or always looking out for enemies. It can also happen, with less physical things, like always looking out for, why is this thing not good enough? Why is this thing not going to work? And that is exhausting. And that is the lie that the hypervigilant is telling you, is like, you always have to look out for danger, because if you don't, something bad will happen to you. Well, it turns out that if you spend all your time looking out for danger, you're exhausted and you don't have enough energy to do whatever is required of you or whatever you want to do. So you can see that all of this can be rationalized with, like, I'm doing this for your own good. But turns out that that's a lie, because if you focus too much on this, then you're depleting all your energies and not letting your mind have enough energy and time and honestly, like, will to focus on the positive things.
Yes.
Next slide.
Okay, let's move on. So we spoke a lot about the saboteurs, and as we said, today our goal is really that you create an awareness of what kind of saboteurs are the strongest inside you. Now, moving to the sage. The sage, there's 5 sages, and they bring in lots of gifts. So once you are in the right mindset, or let's say you're using the other part of your brain, the sage mode, then you can find a lot of gifts in here. So even if something happened that was not that pleasant for you, where can you find a gift? So number 1 gift could be this bad situation could give you some new knowledge. You learn something new, which can bring you further into the next step. Gift number 2 is, and as you can see, this is a screenshot of the author, Shirzad Chamine. So he gave this really nice example, and he showed a lot of vulnerability when he actually shared this. And he said he has his own company, and then he had hired the president and also the board members.
Board people.
Yeah, and then one day they were all sitting in a room waiting for him. What did they do? All of his people gave him an intervention.
Okay, guys, Wi-Fi issues.
Sorry. There we go. All right.
Well, we're trying to fix this here.
For some reason, okay, you keep talking about the sage hotspot.
So sorry about this. Yeah, so I was talking about the board members that gave an intervention to Shirzad. So this was the toughest challenge he had in his business, but he took this as a gift. So once he overcame the saboteur and the judge inside him, he then went more into the sage, and he used the powers of the sage to better understand of what exactly is happening. So he understood, okay, in order to create that power, what does he have to not only just learn, but which kind of like muscles inside him does he actually need to grow? You know, like the muscles when you go to the gym, what does he need to grow in order to perform better in the future, in order to get back to being this amazing leader full of this vision, basically, why the people all wanted to work with him. So he basically grew his power step by step. And gift number 3 of the sage is, so we had knowledge, number 2 is power, and number 3 is inspiration. And inspiration here really means that, let me give you another example. So he pointed out there was this man, he had an accident, and after this, he couldn't walk anymore. I mean, like for the rest of his life, he basically was paralyzed. But after having overcome the saboteur, and he went into the sage mode, and he said, okay, how can I use that situation as an inspiration now? Meaning that how can I actually now, for example, help other people to have less pain? How can I actually help?
All right, we're back. Janine's and okay, there we go. We're back. Sorry, internet issues. So now we're back to the main thing, and I'm going to share the screen so that we were doing something. There we go. All right.
Okay,
sorry about that.
Inspiration. And he basically, what he founded is an organization that did research. They invested a lot of money in helping other people with new technologies and new kind of medicine, that it doesn't happen for them, or that at least like in the future, other people can be cured if it happens to them. So he really used what happened to him as an inspiration to do something good. Exactly. And this is really like your choice here.
Absolutely. So what we really want to say is that, again, this is a much bigger topic that we can't possibly cover in half an hour. And we're going to do another one on the sage perspective specifically, and the sage powers. But what we want to say is that whatever we look at a situation, whether it is ourselves, whatever it's an external situation, there's always a cat that's trying to do something weird. There's always 2 ways to look at it. Your saboteur and your judge perspective will tell you that whatever's happening to you, it's bad and it's terrible, and then you should do something about it. That is like, staying in that negative emotion. The sage perspective is looking at the opportunity, looking at the fact that is happening and turning it into a gift. Again, we're not saying that you have to smile through everything, but it's about recognizing that something is happening. A very, very good analogy that Shirzad always uses is that when you have negative emotions, it's like keeping your hand on a hot stove. Like keeping your hand if you touch something hot, your hand will hurt. That hurt is about letting you know that you should take your hand off the stove. Nobody wants to on the stove. Negative emotions should be something similar. When something happens, you're frustrated, you're angry, you're sad. That emotion should be the trigger for you to recognize that something is happening, and then shift it into the perspective of how can I turn this into a gift and an opportunity. So we're not saying that you have to ignore your negative emotion. Those are a trigger. Those are a sign that you should do something about it in order to make the most out of whatever situation you're in. Again, no toxic positivity. I want to stress that a lot.
Okay, let's finish this. So this is what we're going to cover next month in our talk. We will show you more of how you can really strengthen your sage
which is important, especially when you are in this stressed, hijacked situation.
Yes.
We had one example in the 7 a.m. call. The lady actually said, yes, she has the victim a lot inside her. So she really tries to give herself a lot of compassion. And here it says empathy, and forgiving herself, forgiving other people's,
Yeah, so these are the sage powers that can be activated through basically a couple of things. And we're going to show how can it activate in the next slide.
Yes, last but not least, now before we show you the link to the online test that you can take yourself. So 3 strategies to increase positive intelligence. Number 1, weaken your saboteurs. And as we said, what we did today with creating the self-awareness is a first important step. Number 2, strengthen your sage, what we will focus on next time. And last but not least, number 3, strengthen your positive intelligence brain.
Right.
How can we do this? These
also,
are like,
there's a reason why it says PQ and doesn't say PI, because Q is the quotient, like IQ, like intelligence quotient. So basically here it's analyzing how high is your level of positive intelligence. Sorry, because I think people got confused last time.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So how can you strengthen your PQ? So in the certification program that we're taking, every single day, it is our homework just for 15 minutes, where a few times per day, we do little 2-minute, 5 or 12-minute exercises. And I think everybody of us has 2 minutes. We get the reminder even on our phone, on the app. Oh, it's 7 o'clock, it's 12 o'clock, it's 6 p.m., even 3 p.m. during the day. Do these little exercises, and it could be, you may know meditation, but it's not just meditation. It's about using your 5 senses to distract your busy mind. And the best is when you do this activity, when you're stressed and when your saboteurs are hijacking you. So in that moment, what you can do is, for example, rub your fingers or any part of your body against each other and mindfully, consciously just focus on the here and now while you're doing this kind of action. And you're 100% focused on the sensation now here in your fingers, in your hands, for example. And you're just focusing on this. And you will see that 2 minutes are more than enough. That after this, it will be easier for you to get into the sage mode. Or just like breathing and focusing on how your stomach or chest goes up and down. Do this for 2 minutes. Or, for example, visualizing on one point in front of you at the wall, for example. Or listening to a sound that is very, very, very far away, for example.
It's basically all about focus. When you're getting hijacked, when you're getting overwhelmed by negative emotions, what you want to do is, instead of letting those hijack you, letting those take over, is you commanding your brain to take a step, take a breath, stop, and then make the time and make the energy for yourself to then switch to the different perspective. Because as we said, going on autopilot, if you feel angry or sad, you're always going to keep feeling more angry and more sad if you don't actively do anything about it. Yeah. And that's why self-awareness is the first step, because you have to understand and realize that is happening to you. And it's not easy. It takes a while, and that's why it takes practice. So here we'll share this in the groups. We'll share this in the groups later for you guys to, if you want to take the saboteur test. Again, this is not 100% prescriptive, but it's a very good way to learn a little bit more about yourself, so that you can be more aware of what are the ways that your mind is trying to sabotage you. And once you're more aware, you can start recognizing it in your behaviors. You can have friends pointing things out to you, but that doesn't always happen. So the better way is to try and recognizing it by yourself, because you're always with yourself. And so if you can strengthen that muscle, that can be more helpful, so that you can switch.
And it can be helpful for your whole team, for your organization. Everything starts with yourself, but the next step would also be here now, then to implement this in your teams and to work with your teams on how together you can hijack yourself less, and how together you can grow your positive intelligence quotient.
Exactly. So I think that this was a lot of content. We went way over time today, but we're very excited about this because it has had a lot of positive effects on us, and we wanted to share with the community, and hopefully this has been helpful for you. Now we're going to open it up to questions or sharings. If anybody wants to share anything, feel free to unmute yourself or type in the chat. In the meantime, we'll just share a couple of good things that are happening next, right?
Yes, do that. So what questions do you have? Feel free to unmute yourself. Sharings.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Great.
While you guys were talking and there were like a few breaks, I think I've completed the assessment, waiting for the result to come.
Okay.
Oh, do you find it
I'll
helpful?
keep you guys posted. Oh,
Results?
absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just get the result. I don't have it yet. It says
Oh,
it comes to
okay.
my email, right?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be very
But good.
valuable.
Good 26, 27, or 28 questions, right? Very
Yeah.
simple.
But it's done very fast.
Yep. You have to do it fast. You just can't give too much of thought into it.
Exactly.
Thanks for guiding. Thanks for guiding. Seems like
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's very, very helpful because, of course, this is not the thing I like about this, and a lot of the things we talk about is that it's not rocket science. Like, it's not that Shazad is a fantastic coach, but he didn't come up with a completely weird things that nobody knows about. We all know that this is a possibility inside us. We all know. We all had people telling us, "Oh, you've been a bit controlling today," or like, you should not be that perfectionist, or like, you should not try to avoid things. These are things that we all know. But giving it a framework and giving them names and being aware of these things definitely helps with doing something about it, right? It's not the first thing.
Yes. I tell you something interesting. I was talking to somebody about it, and this person had never heard about it. I quickly, like in 2 minutes, introduced this, and he suddenly mirrored my language and started to analyze and see his pattern himself within like 2 minutes already. So you can see this is so powerful.
Absolutely. And it takes a little bit longer to explain the whole thing, but this is just the key highlights that we hope can be helpful for you guys.
Yes.
While you guys think about more questions, let us share a couple of more things that are happening in the next.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, hi, Paolo.
Hi, Paolo.
Yes,
Hi,
we can.
yeah, thank you. No, I just want to thank for sharing this very interesting topic, and your work. You girls are doing really, really good job. Just for your understanding, I'm joining now I'm in Mozambique now, and it's 2:40 a.m. So I love your topics. I love just to give you support and keep doing. Okay.
Wow, Paolo, thank you so much from Mozambique. That's amazing.
Please get some rest. We do appreciate you. We do appreciate you joining. That's very thoughtful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I hope you get lots of good sleep later on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wow, you made my day.
Aww.
That's amazing.
There you go. All right, you made Janine happy. Okay, so we just wanted to share what you guys think. If you have any other question, put them in the chat. We want to share a couple of good things that are happening. So Janine and Adrian are going to talk. When is that? Oh, May. This Tuesday. There we go. Tuesday, they're going to do a very, very good session, which is free, about using NLP and hypnosis in coaching. It's going to be very, very interesting.
Wednesday.
I was going to say, like, Tuesday's tomorrow. Yeah,
Yes.
Wednesday. And also for other people who are interested in deepening their coaching practice, the Motivate community is doing a master NLP practitioner for coaches. Me and Janine both went through the NLP practitioner level, and although I came in very skeptical about NLP, I found it useful. So I can tell you that give it a try. It's never a bad idea. So yeah, these are very good opportunities.
And those, like the NLP part is so good to really improve the relationship with yourself.
There you go.
Yes.
And also, last but not least, please come to our party. We really, really love the community, and because most of the activities we do, at least these days, are online, we get to have so many contact with so many different people that are in different places of the world, Mozambique, and like my mom from Italy, and people who are everywhere. But if you are in Shanghai or can make it to Shanghai, we would really like to see you. May 30th, we're going to have our 2-year anniversary party. It's going to be a very relaxed, very fun afternoon event. We're going to have snacks snacks, we're gonna have drinks, we're gonna network and talk to each other in person. I get to be here in person this year, which makes me very happy.
A lot of our speakers will be there. You can meet them, you can touch them, they're
Right.
live there.
Be nice to them, please. Don't harass our speakers. But it's a very good opportunity for us to meet in person and to have fun for an afternoon. So if you're in Shanghai or can make it, please join us. We'll be very happy to see you.
Do we have any other questions, or you can even like share something if you like? I know that this is a topic that is actually very personal and shows a lot of vulnerability as well.
Absolutely.
By sharing this.
Absolutely. Sorry. MMM messages. So, anybody has any other question before we finish it up for today? Oh, I can see blipping in the chat.
Any more information about 5:30 gathering, you can scan the QR code and there you can find more information.
Yeah. It's in Shanghai. You can buy the ticket through the QR code.
Yes.
Thank you, Kieran.
Have a good day, Kieran.
Yeah, Arlene, just scan the QR code and the address is on the flyer.
Yes.
Just get your ticket and see you there.
And we have lots of food and lots of drinks and lots of amazing people. I can't see a reason why not to come.
Honestly, that's a really good point. Just show up. It's gonna be fun. That's it.
Yeah, we'd love to see you. Yeah. Okay, everybody. I wish you an amazing start in a new day and week, no matter where you are in the world right now. Go out there, take all the opportunities, try to take the test online. Unfortunately, it's only in English, but it should be good enough.
Right.
And it will be really helpful for you, I'm pretty sure.
And we'll come back to you with more about this topic because this has been a very popular topic next month. So next month, we're going to talk more about the sage perspective, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yay, looking forward. Happy Monday, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.